Hey, how you doing out there, world? This is part two of the video I named "Life's Little Secret." I didn't plan on naming it that, but that's what I came up with in the last video. Yeah. Okay, we talked about this in the last video. All the signs of what we call the zodiac signs and the names that we have for them in our language that was passed down from Spanish to Latin. Different countries name them different things, but it's pretty much they sound the same from the different origins of language. They've just been passed down and hidden in the adepts and the occult societies, or we call them societies, occult groups. They all speak to each other with secret knowledge of the ages, the secret knowledge of the times that surpassed us. I'm going to speak a little bit loud. I apologize if the last video was too low. But as I said, anything that's hidden can be revealed. Anything that's lost can be found. Everything is everything. God's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And all things are held by him and known by him forever and ever. Okay? Since we talked about that in the last video, this video we're going to talk about pyramid, how these things form a pyramid. I want you to look at them. This is the cycle. Mars, Venus, Mercury. Mars, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Sun. Moon, Sun, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Moon, Sun. Then Mercury, Venus, Mars. And then you got Jupiter, then you got Saturn. Then you got Jupiter again, they're connected. These are how the planets orbit around each other. You got the moon and the sun. The sun's the center of all things, which is the Leo. If you look up different personality influences of the sun or the lion or the Leo, it's the center of attention, the most confident, most cocky, and it has to be centered, just like the sun is centered. We all know that, people that look up zodiac signs. But the sun and the moon are right there, they're centered. And all the planets revolve around them too. Correct me if I'm wrong, send me a link. See, look, this is the rotation that Mars goes around the sun and the moon. See? Mars, back to Mars. Then you got, no, I'm sorry, that was Venus. Mars to Mars. That's the orbit. Check to make sure I got it right. Got sun, moon. Yep, Mars on the bottom. Mars on the bottom on both sides. But on my paper, it's on the top. I'm going to show you how it's on the bottom. Got Mars, the orbit, back to Mars. Forget the Jupiter and the Saturn at the bottom. And the way these planets are listed, they are, if you look them up, they are the planets that are most closest to the sun. And this is the order of the planets that they are listed in side by side. Mercury being the closest to the sun, then Venus, and then Mars. You don't see the Earth on here because our flesh is the Earth. That's why the Earth is not a zodiac sign. Our flesh is the Earth. This is Venus. Earth will be somewhere in here next to Venus. But this is the Earth. Anyway, here's the pyramid. You see they're all listed. You got Mars, Venus, Mercury. Then you got Moon and Sun, forget those. Then you got Mercury, Venus, Mars. Okay? Here's a secret knowledge in life. This is the pyramid on the back of the dollar. A hidden message. All right? Bam. Bam. Sun and the moon. You got the Leo, And then you got the moon, the Leo, and the Cancer. They're side by side in the zodiac. Then you got, I put a pyramid at the top because nothing's there between those. Nothing's between the Cancer and the Lion. You got the masculine and you got the feminine. Isis is the ultra feminine sign. People say men are from Mars, men are from Venus, but what they should say is men are from the sun. I'm sorry, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. What they should say in the correct term should be men are from the sun and women are from the moon, because the sun is the ultra masculine sign, save Sagittarius, which surpasses. Though the sun is bigger than Jupiter, but the sun is also not a planet. Neither is the moon. But Jupiter is the biggest planet of all. That's why I was telling you that Zeus was Jupiter. And Jupiter, or Sagittarius, or Zeus, they're the sign of freedom. They love freedom. And Jupiter orbits it rotates any way it wants to rotate. Sagittarius or Jupiter, they're the sign of freedom. And that's another thing I'll talk about in another video. But there you go, you can see it closely. Mars, in its orbit. You got Scorpio, which is represented by Mars. Aries, represented by Mars. These are the young signs. These are the older signs. Then you got Taurus, represented by Mars. Libra, represented by Mars. They're the center of the pyramid. Then you got Mercury, represented by Mars. You got Gemini, Mercury, Gemini, Mercury. Then you got Cancer, the moon, Leo, the sun. It's a mystery between them. And that mystery is the key to all things. Now, I don't know this yet, as far as the mystery, what that is. But it's the gateway to all things between those two. Then you got Jupiter. Pisces and Sagittarius represented by Jupiter. You got Pisces. It's the end sign, and then it's the beginning sign. It's neither one. And it's both at the same time. Okay? That was this video and explaining that. If you ask me, God and the Holy Spirit, they're the mystery that's unfound. It's the ultra beginning of all things ever known, not in this universe, but all things ever known, period. In all universes. I don't know what all of them are called, but that's the origin of all things. And the origin of all things at the origin of all things. Sounds tricky, but that's how it is. I'll see you next time, YouTube, with the next video. Check me out at Green Revolution. My website is www.greenrevolt.co. That's www.greenrevolt.co. Thank you.